courts in Nebraska are required to consider the best interests of the children and only the best interests of the children when determining custody. So this means that the court isn't interested with the drama between the parties. They aren't interested in how the parties navigated issues within their household. They want to know what's best for the children once the family has separated from the household.
There are a few things that parties should absolutely avoid doing at the beginning of and during their custody cases in order to have a good outcome for themselves. One of those things is to avoid making unreasonable demands on the other side as it relates to custody at the beginning of the case. So this happens typically in two ways. Either the father is often requesting more time than seems reasonable. This is a person who works 60 hours a week and he wants the kids 50% of the time. On the other side, it can often be the mother trying to restrict visitation even though the father has spent a lot of time with the kids. So the court is going to look at those types of positions, and that could really negatively impact your custody case as it plays out in the court. Another thing that people have a tendency to do because emotions are running so high at the beginning of cases is they'll call each other names or they'll talk about the case in front of the kids. Again, that is the easiest way to get on the bad side of the judge that's going to be listening to your case. I cannot tell you how many times our law firm has gone in with text messages where opposing party is calling our client the B word or the C word or the D word. It just sets such a negative tone that it can destroy your case before it even gets started. The other thing you need to be aware of is anything that you post on social media anytime is going to be attainable by the other side. It doesn't matter if you clean up or delete your account. Attorneys can always get source files for like Facebook and Instagram so we can see those posts. And once again, if you are talking about the case, judges hate that. If you are talking negatively about the other side, judges absolutely hate that. And then if you're showing pictures of yourself in compromising or stupid situations, which we also see a lot, out wasted at the bar, out with your new girlfriend, or doing something else that's inappropriate, that is going to come back to haunt you. So everything you say, write, or post, I want you to imagine that that is going to be seen ultimately by the judge in your case.
A typical process for custody in Nebraska looks like this. Once you file for dissolution and the court becomes aware that there are children at issue in your case, an order will be issued that requires a few things of you. First, you're going to have to take a co-parenting class. This can usually be done online. However, in some counties, you have to go in person. Once that's completed, you have the option of asking the court for a temporary order. These are done on affidavits only. This means you have to work with your attorney to explain your position, and your attorney will help you understand what is a reasonable expectation in your circumstance. Once that happens, you'll then be required to try mediation to mediate a final parenting plan for your case. This is the plan that will dictate how you and your co-parent move forward, hopefully throughout the minority of your children. While these are modifiable, once they're in place, it is hard to modify. So we encourage you to work really hard to make sure you have a plan that works for your family the first time.
One of the things that I would say to parents who are facing a divorce with children is that divorce hurts kids always. And I don't say that to make you feel guilty or try to say that you shouldn't be divorced, because staying together and modeling an unhealthy relationship is also damaging to the kids. But the studies have shown that the less animosity the parents have, the less negatively impact the kids will be. And so our firm is always looking for custody and parenting plans that are going to set kids up for future success.